Yeah, you probably saw, Dr. Henry, that the U.S. CDC has released long-awaited guidelines on how fully vaccinated people can safely visit others. They're saying that 2 vaccinated people can be indoors without masks. They're saying that they could even, in some circumstances, meet with unvaccinated people. So what do you think of their recommendations, and when can we expect guidance here? People really want to know when they can visit with, say, their parents and grandparents once the seniors have gotten their first dose of vaccine.
Yes, and I think that is, I did see what the U.S. CDC has put out. I think those are fairly reasonable guidelines, and I think ours will be very similar when we're, however, we don't need to wait until everybody has their second dose. And we do need to continue to pay attention to people who are more at risk of having severe illness from this virus or ending up in hospital. And right now, we're not at that point where we have enough of the people who are at risk immunized that we can have overall guidance, but we're taking those things into account in terms of visitation to long-term care. And it does mean that when you're out in public, when you're out in communal settings like that, where there are people who are still at risk, even if they have been immunized, we need to continue to wear masks to ensure that we're using all the proper precautions so that we're not putting people at risk when there's still so much transmission in our community right now. But I think that's a very good example of what we can look forward to as more people are protected, particularly more of our seniors and elders in the coming months.
Next question is from Jane Side, North Shore News.
Hi, Dr. Henry. I guess my question is sort of related. I'm wondering about specifically the example you mentioned about a long-term care facility where everyone had received their vaccines, but there was still an outbreak. I'm wondering about that case. People have also been questioning when a lot of the Lower Mainland long-term care homes, they've had their vaccine in January, it's 2 months ago, and they're wondering why would you not start opening up to visitors, because most of these people are not going to live for years and years and years, and they're wondering, is there ever going to be a time when sort of a normal-like visit can happen at these long-term care homes, given that the people who can be vaccinated have been vaccinated?
And the short answer is yes, it's coming, but it's coming in a measured way as in the next little while as the rates in our community go down, hopefully, and as more people are protected. So we still know that people who visit people in long-term care are they themselves sometimes at risk, so we want to make sure we have as many people as possible. But yes, you can continue to have transmission even when people are fully vaccinated, so several weeks after 2 doses in this case. However, we are now watching very carefully, because what we've seen in other parts of the country and in the U.S. is that the illness is milder and doesn't transmit as much, so we don't expect and hope we won't see those rapidly explosive outbreaks that we've seen in long-term care homes. So those are the types of things that we'll be watching really carefully. But right now, because there is still so much transmission, we're not at the point where we can just open up care homes, because that still puts people at risk. But we are working on those guidelines, and I have committed by the end of this month we will have new guidance, even before that if we can, that will allow for increased visits with our loved ones in long-term care.